All right, YouTube Axis and Allies brethren, welcome back to turret number 2 in Wake Forest, North Carolina. For this second round USSR turn, in this 42.2 version game variant between No Limit as the Axis powers and myself, Captain Jack, as the Allies. So for purchases this round, USSR has 29 IPCs to spend. They'll be spending 28 of those on 4 infantry and 4 artillery. They'll have 1 IPC left over to spend for the next turn. All right, so 4 infantry, 4 artillery. There will be 2 battles this turn. 1 in Karelia. Actually, there'll be 3 battles. 1 in Karelia, 1 in the Ukraine, and 1 in Sea Zone 10. All right, in Karelia, the big one, what we've got is from West Russia. From West Russia, we'll have 6 infantry moving in, 2 artillery, and 2 tanks. But as No Limit likes to say, that's not all. We've got 2 tanks coming in from Russia, or 2 more tanks, I should say, coming in from Russia. We've got a bomber coming in from Russia. And that's not all. We've got another tank coming in from the Caucasus. So that will be a total of 15 no, actually 14 units that USSR will be bringing in for this battle. There will be 6 German tanks and 2 artillery defending. So let me go set that battle up on the battle board. All right, so for this battle, the initial setup is 4 infantry at 1, 2 infantry and 2 artillery at 2 hit die, 5 tanks, and 1 bomber. So we'll have 4 black dice at 1, 4 green die at 2, 5 blue die at 3, and 1 blue die at 5. All right, so for the initial roll, going up against 6 German tanks and 2 artillery, looking for 8 hits. We know we're not going to get 8 hits, but we'd love to get 5 or 6 at least in this first roll. Let's see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 hits. I will take it. I will take it every time. So 7 hits. The tanks hit 4 out of 5. The bomber hit. Only 1 of the green hit, but 1 of the black did hit of the 4 of those. So 7 hits. That will be 2 artillery and 5 tanks. That will leave 1 German tank left. They do get to fire back in retaliation. So we've got 2 green hit die for the artillery. And 6 die for the tanks. 5 of those will be blue 3 hit dice. And there'll be one red D6 that'll go in that'll need to hit it 3 or less. All right, so here's the German return fire. Let's hope no more than about 3 hits here. Let's see. And there's more than 3. Well, there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one did not hit. It was in the shadow over there. And the D6 die did not hit. So 4 infantry units for the Russians will be lost. All right, so the Russians will obviously press on the attack. They only need 1 hit. So they'll roll the 5 blue hit die and the 1 bomber. See if they can get their one hit. And they get 3 hits. So the German units have been destroyed. The one tank does get to fire back at one 3-hit die, blue die. Let's see what he does. And it misses. All right, so that'll do it for the Battle of Karelia. It is back in Russian control. All right, so going back to the battle board, Stalin has actually decided to call off the battle in Ukraine. He's decided to pull those forces back. He feels like they'll be better used for something else down the road. So there will be no battle in the Ukraine. All right, so for our last battle, this lone Soviet sub is going to go against this lone German sub at an attack value of 2, defense value of 1. So let's set that up for a roll. We can roll both of those at the same time. So the green die will be representing the Russian sub, the black die will be representing the German sub, which makes sense. All right, here we go. Neither one hit. Neither one hit. So we'll continue on. Neither one hit again. We'll continue on. Neither one hit again. That's 3 rolls. Green should hit by now. And it finally did. So the Russian sub hits, the German sub misses. So that will be the last of the German Navy and their U-boats. All right, so I'll set up for non-combat movement. Sorry, No Limit, there was one battle that I did forget. I'm sorry, I pulled back from Ukraine, but I forgot about the Battle of Manchuria, noted here. So anyway, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Russian infantry and 1 tank going up against 1 lone Japanese infantry unit. So we'll have 5 black 1-hit die going into the cup. 1 tank. Actually, we're going to leave one infantry behind. So there'll be 4 infantry, 1 tank, and going up against 1 lone Japanese infantry. And that'll be represented by a green die. So we can roll this all at one time. All right, so here is the roll for the Battle of Manchuria. All right, so we've got the tank hit, that was enough, but also the Japanese infantry hit as well. So it took out one of the Russian ground units. So let's set that up here. Take the Japanese unit off. Take one of the Russian units off. Leave 1 behind and move the rest in. 3 infantry. And a tank. And so that'll take care of the Battle of Manchuria. So that'll move the Russians up 3 spaces from 24. Actually, it'll move them up 5 spaces because I didn't move them up for Karelia yet. So 5 spaces from 24 to 29. We'll move Germany down 2 spaces for Karelia from 42 to 40. And then we'll move Japan down from 32 to 29. All right, so that'll do it. That should do it now for combat moves. I apologize about that. All right, so now I'll be back for non-combat moves. For non-combat movement, the bomber that went to Karelia is going to come back and land into Russia. The 2 AA guns in Russia are going to move into Archangel, along with the 5 infantry and the 2 artillery. The five of the infantry from from the Caucasus is going to go into West Russia. So they will leave one infantry unit behind in the Caucasus. Two artillery from the Caucasus will move into West Russia. AA gun from the Caucasus will move into West Russia as well. All right, so that is on the Western Front in Russia. One infantry in Novosibirsk will move into Xinjiang. Two infantry from Kazakh will move into Szechuan. And the two AA guns from Buryatia will move into Manchuria. All right, so that should do it for the non-combat movements for the USSR. They'll be placing their new units now. They'll be putting everything they have, everything they produced, into Russia. That would be 4 infantry and 4 artillery. All right, so for unit recap, in Karelia, we have 2 infantry, 2 artillery, and 5 tanks. In West Russia, we have 5 infantry, 2 artillery, 1 AA gun. In the Caucasus, we have 1 infantry. In Russia, we have 1 bomber, 4 newly placed artillery, and 4 newly placed infantry. In Archangel, 2 AA guns, 5 infantry, and 3 artillery. In Xinjiang, there are 3 infantry. In Szechuan, there's 2 infantry. In Manchuria, there's 3 infantry, 2 AA guns, and 1 tank. In Buryatia, there's 1 infantry. And in the Soviet Far East, there's 1 infantry. And last but not least, in C-Zone 10, there is 1 lone Russian sub. I believe that covered it all. So that'll do it for this Russian turn in round 2. From the turret number 2 in Wake Forest, North Carolina, this is Captain Jack saying over and out.